Hello, hello everyone. Hopefully you can see me properly. Here you go. Right. Yeah. Let's see if you can hear me. Unless you type and let me know if you can listen to me. I have to check the sound. So yeah. Okay. That's cool. Great. Hello, Stephanie. How are you? Glad you could join me. All right. So yeah, I guess my last short video wasn't that successful, but it's okay. It's okay, you guys. It's okay. It's about the craft. Um, yeah, it was good. It was nice. I was listening to some podcasts and doing some stuff. So, all right. I think I can turn this off now. Can I? And it reverts back. Of course you do. Why wouldn't you? Let's see that. Give me a second. There you go. There's something weird about this. Uh, no, that's not what I want to play around with. It's this one. It's too much. Yeah, okay. Probably will revert back because it's technology as a whole. So last time I did this giraffe right here, well, it was uh, during two separate sessions. And let's see how it goes this time around. Even though I enjoyed the drawing, I guess I have to figure out how to approach short videos. I have to focus on that a little bit more. We'll see how I can make it work better. Anyhow, uh, for today, what I looked for is this. I think it's African fish eagle. If I get that right. What what is going on? How are you? Come on. Oh, okay. Doesn't make sense, but just how things are. There you go. There you go. So African fish eagle. You can see right here. Let's see. Find it really cool that we have, depending on the area, you have similar creatures. Like, sorry, in my country we have the um, harpy eagle. Well, it's across the Amazon, but that one hunts for monkeys. This one uh, for fish. But I didn't research the size of this one. The harpy eagle is really big. Um, it's interesting that it doesn't matter the ecosystem. You can find versions of similar creatures, kind of like a puzzle that needs a piece uh, that fits within the that area of the ecosystem. So to fill in that specific gap, whatever creature needs to be like the populations needs to be controlled, then a creature kind of takes like hunts that, or I don't know. I was listening to somebody talking about like I completely forgot about this, but there's a reindeer, uh, some form of reindeer in an island that uh, hunts fish. Like it goes fishing on rivers just because like the evolution of the island made it so that he was the one who filled that gap, which is really interesting, and that happens in all ecosystems. It's wild to see that uh, across the board in different places. Anyhow, so how was your day? Okay, let's see how this turns out. Why? What happened? Hope everything's okay. It's terrible when something like a day doesn't go as we planned or something. But the important thing is that we can just focus on the next day, right? See, thinking to that. Just wondering about. Don't mind me. Just having an internal uh, monologue about something. Anyhow, let's see. Camera. Oh, that's yeah. I feel for you. I hope you're able to deal with that. I know how bothersome that can be, but yeah. Well, hopefully the new contractor is able to figure things out and make it better. All right. So as I mentioned multiple times on my stream, I frame the drawing first and then I go for the details. So that would be kind of the top of the head, the head, the head. Oh my god, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. think it's something like that. This must look so random to anyone. Like, what is he doing? How is he? How is he doing this? There's a method to the madness, and yeah, those of you that have learned about drawing, you probably are aware of what I'm talking about. But for anyone that might watch this, have no idea of what I'm blabbering about. Basically, what I was mentioning is that you have to focus first on the overall shape of whatever subject matter you're doing, and then you go for the details. Uh, so if you can see, you mean like for a Christmas card? No, birthday card. You mean? It depends on the interest of what that person is interested in. Um, yeah, I would focus on what that person is interested in. Like if it's cars, I would draw a car. Uh, I don't know. Just the whole personalization part of the thing. As like for me, if you give me like a card with a capybara, I'll be happy. Well, you can do a simple version of it. You don't have to like go hyper realistic on it. You can do a stylized version. At least that's what I would do. There's a lot of like there's some really funny cartoon versions of like I don't know the characters for uh, what's the name? I was mentioning it just yesterday. The Last of Us or Red Dead Redemption. So you can turn like imagine any of those IPs turn into Charlie Brown characters, for example, or something like that. So the same idea would apply with a car. You can make a simple concept for the car. Well, hope that helps. So as I was saying, basically I'm trying to frame the overall shape in relationship to I don't know if I mentioned this, I don't remember. It's like this is stream number 80, you guys, for the very few that start watching my stream randomly. um, an important part of any artwork is the negative space. In this case, it would be all the surrounding area uh, to the character or the subject matter. So actually, you can draw anything, just trying to separate the negative space from the positive. Um, so what I'm trying to do is kind of have a similar relationship to what you can see on my reference. Just transfer that to my page, and I just realized that because I changed the thing. Oh my god. brightness. It's just the brightness. That's okay. You fix one thing, another thing breaks. That's the, it's life. It's life. Okay, enough yapping. Come on. I also anyway doesn't matter. A filter? Yeah, I did. I think because the light, like if you change the light conditions, it just doesn't. The camera doesn't know what to do. So again, it comes down to the camera that is it's not the best. Um, so it tries to readjust, and in doing so, it messes up my my settings. With that said, I do think um, that also maybe the software there's something going on that every now and then it kind of resets to a previous setting or something. I don't know. I'm not that like I know some technical geeky stuff, but I never went full on with like programming and that sort of thing. So I wouldn't. I would have to like really dig into why it does that. Uh, Maybe a setting thing. It just decides to revert back, and maybe there's ways that you can lock it. I tried locking it, but it didn't do much really. So who knows? Who knows? All right. Yes. So the eye should be like here, I think. Birdman. That was a really weird cartoon. You know, I really miss like being able to watch like Cartoon Network and that sort of thing while working on whatever idea I had. Cartoon Network was really fun. Our whole life changed. If you're from my country, you know what I mean. But yeah, it changed gradually, but it completely changed. Still, I do remember fondly that that kind of show. Those weird shows that you could see late at night. In Locomotion, when it started, I was like, what is this? I was like, this is mind blowing. Locomotion was really cool. It's not for kids though, it was for adults, which was the mind boggling thing. Sci-fi, I didn't watch as much. Um, I mean the Sci-Fi channel. I was like ever since I was a kid. my dad was into movies, so he uh, and my stepdad like introduced me to like films and that sort of thing. Like my dad was really into Star Trek and Star Wars. My stepdad was more into Star Wars, but he was really interested in like film, like really good films, Gladiator, I don't know, Steven Spielberg films, um, Close Encounters, um, Back to the Future, Jurassic Park. So I grew up just appreciating that, and I remember really fondly a show that kind of I was like I if I could get into this, that would be awesome. Like probably if you're really young, you might not know, but there was a show called the I think the Magic of Cinema or something. I don't know if I mentioned this before on my stream, but it was freaking awesome. It was on Discovery Channel, and they kind of showed behind the scenes of all the films and how they made the visual effects for Star Wars and all those blockbuster movies. And I was like, oh, that must be so awesome to do, and that kind of got me hooked on all that, and also with all the Cartoon Network and movies, and I was surrounded by forms of art in my house because, as I said in some other stream, my mom is an architect, and my stepdad it's an architect as well. So I kind of I don't know. I soaked that into like they had architecture books and like this type of pen, uh, but the real deal. This ones are they're good. They're really good for what they are, but the ones they use for architecture, that you can refill them, like the rotring pens, which one were like precision oriented things. So I grew up with all that, and so I was really encouraged to draw as a kid. So yeah, that's where that come from. I think I missed the mark here. The angle is not right, but don't tell anyone. I know that the measurements are off. I'm getting one of those that it doesn't. I think that the proportion of the wing is not is it's off. So the wing is larger, I think. So it would be like something like that. So you would have sort of like a longer thing here. I guess I could get away with it a little. if there's such thing. Right. Here's that. And I don't know what I was going with the whole Cartoon Network thing. Well, did I miss like I basically when I because I used to do like these long sessions of drawing similar to what I'm doing right now. Um, but I would just put something on the TV on the background, kind of pay attention every now and then, and just keep doing my stuff. And just basically daydreaming in a way, or night dreaming. I wasn't sleeping, but it was often during nighttime because during school hours, of course, I couldn't draw all the time, even though I tried to sneak it every now and then. Some teachers didn't care that much, like they didn't mind. I wouldn't say they didn't care. They were like, okay, just also do the thing you're supposed to do. But it was really common for me. Like I was doing as if I'm taking notes. So I would take notes in gibberish, and if I doze off, I would be drawing something on the corner of my sketch of my uh, notepad or that type of thing. This is not. This is not good. This is not accurate. Let's see. No, I wouldn't say it's better. That better, but not much better. Rather, I like that. Yeah. So something like that. Dun, 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 dun. Can you see what I'm doing? Like this is so bothersome. That the whole point of me doing this is showing what I'm doing, and it's like a whole fight against software. And I wish that I guess you could see that a little bit better. It's it's really bothersome. Until I'm able to change that. I'm stuck with this, and I'm gonna do the best I can with it. So I apologize for the quality right now. Now, also for your information, this picture was by Hong Bin. If I get that correctly, you can find it on Unsplash. I didn't add the link this time around because I forgot, but I'll probably do it after. Um, Also, I should remind anyone that if you're interested, I set up a Discord. Every now and then, people ask me if I have a Discord. Now I have it. It's on the description of this live stream. Uh, if you want to join, I'm looking at ways to monetize that don't depend on the social media because yeah, they're in for to maximize profit, and that doesn't always prioritize the creators. So I have to figure out some of this stuff on my own. Uh, and I guess the type of stuff I do is really niche. So just from the get go, there's not gonna be that many people interested unless I do like grandiose stuff, like big format paintings or something like that, which would be cool for me to do. I started to do like I don't know, well, I moved it, but I actually have a painting that I started and I was making a video about it. Uh, but then life happened and I have to I have to figure out my schedule and and yeah, just figuring out you guys. If you have any subject matter that you would like for me to talk about or tackle, please let me know, and I'll try to do so. Whether it be on a video or doing a live stream, doesn't matter. I do this to help and hopefully inspire others that are interested in pursuing this sort of thing. I know that AI is upon us, but I don't think nobody's gonna stop creating art just because the computers are creating art. It's just everybody just leave it to the computers. Why? Why should I? Why should anyone? Art is a deeply rooted expression of humanity. So, yeah, I think that's hopefully that continues for millennia, and you will still have people learning about the masters of the past and how they tackle their projects, the challenges they faced, and so on and so forth. I really like this one, but I thought it was the same bird. It could be, but it has this sort of. You can see that kind of this. That could be a genetic thing. It looks really similar. I think it's the same bird. Look at that. That's freaking awesome. I find it fascinating that when they're around, it's really hard to listen to any other birds because they just like they know that there's some creature that's trying to hunt them. It's weird that they're kind of on the same line genetically far away from each other, but no, yeah, creating for sure. I mean, like the possibility of monetizing your creativity. That's what's being kind of challenged, uh, and like there's I don't know, there's this whole thing of kind of undermining artists' work in like in corporate, because it's that way it's easier to exploit. Um, well, that's, I guess that's controversial, and well, I don't know. I don't know who's watching you guys, so uh, I don't know how many controversial stuff I should talk about. uh, it depends. Like it has always been. I don't really know, because I don't know in the like in ancient times, like the Egyptians, if they paid fairly to, but I guess because it's believed that it was slaves, but I find that kind of hard to believe. My thought is that they had some really well trained artisans, and they were probably really well taken care of. So that kind of civilization, like how do they value that? Ancient Greece, Rome, that sort of thing. I haven't looked into that, but that must be an interesting subject. But that definitely changed uh, once the kind of, I guess, industrial revolution. No, I'm trying to go back to the point of which, because there was a time where artists were like rock stars of sorts. They were really. There's still like you have still artists, or like people look for their work, and they hire them for like large format, maybe computer revolution, but no, that's too recent. I'm thinking of when I my thought goes to like when the industrial revolution started, because like for example cars, we all needed cars to be designed. We all needed I don't know, plates to be designed, uh, kitchen kitchens, house utensils. So all that stuff was designed, and the only way you can maximize profit is if there are two options, or you have a really small selected group of designers that are well paid, because their work is used everywhere, and they basically design for a bunch of different industries. Or let me know which one we have right now. You have a plethora, a never-ending um, line of artists that get paid just enough to get by, or to live, and just repeatedly undermined on their endeavors uh, by the ones that uh, can do it in order to be able to maximize said profit. Uh, so those two versions, I believe, existed. Once was before, and what we have now. I guess you could say that they're still both in existence. Uh, but you will have to, like, if you're really intertwined in this industry, uh, you have to be mindful of that, what I just mentioned. Yeah, yeah. You, I think you kind of understand what I'm trying to get to, or figure out in my mind at least. Because like I'm thinking like the contrast between like when Leonardo da Vinci was around, like uh, he was like the go-to person for a lot of things. There were others, of course, at the time, and there there were way more prolific artists than him during his lifetime. But he would solve a bunch of different problems uh, that he was interested in, and he was like this genius in so many fields. Um, so I'm thinking of that contrast. Like in general, when somebody is creative, I think it applies to everything. So they usually can work in different things. They normally specialize in one thing, but they can, if they have enough interest, they can figure out creative work. Uh, yeah, that's complicated. That would ever happen because of what I'm mentioning. Basically, because of um, capital interests. Like I think as a creative, you have to champion yourself. Basically, it used to be, well, technically, that's the idea behind Patreon. That's a really old concept brought to this time. Uh, like Leonardo and Michelangelo, they were sponsored by the church to do a bunch of art for them. It was like, oh, we need to do this. We need to do this other thing. So please, can you do this sculpture for us or this painting for us? And that's how that happened back in the day. It still happens. Um, but that's for the very selected few. Uh, and I guess, yeah. So my point is, if you have Patreons, they champion your work, but you have to get to a point at which you find said Patreons. I don't know. Sometimes it's a stroke. It's like you get lucky, basically. Uh, I know that you mentioned before, Stephanie, that you don't believe in luck, and my point is like, eh, maybe it's not luck. It's like just being at the right place at the right time, kind of thing. So pretty sure there's a lot of that too. And certainly sometimes you find opportunities like that. Well, I wish I could do. This doesn't like. Should look like that. But if I do that, then the whole thing doesn't. I have to lower the contrast. Does that do it? Maybe that's better. Brightness. Okay. Alright. I just had this thought. Starlink. I don't really know. I haven't like Buenos Aires is such a big city that when you look at the sky, like you see a lot of light from like bounce light from all the street lights and building lights, and there's a lot of light pollution on the sky, so you don't get, maybe if you, there's probably like you can track where they're gonna pass, and they probably like you could probably see them, and that probably looks like a he actually was mentioning that sometimes the government thinks like calls them up like, were you in this, like, do you know anything about this date, this time, this and that, and oh, that was one of our satellites, and they thought it was like an ovni or something. I think there's also a lot of that, like, what is that, and it's like I don't know, a satellite. Having said this, if you go to a place like, I don't know which part of New York you're at, but if you're in the outside of the city, um, you can probably, like, if the sky is clear enough, you can see some wild stuff every now and then. Uh, like, what was that? I don't know. Do you know? No clue. Oh, that must be interesting to watch. Like I've seen their landing videos of like the stuff they're testing, and it looks sci-fi. It looks really sci-fi. It's like, dude, I cannot believe that we're at the point of technology that people are creating things that we've always like. um, I'm trying to translate what I'm thinking, which is a whole different conversation. The Nautilus. I'm thinking of the writer. In Spanish, it's 20,000 leguas del viaje submarino. So the sci-fi writer that wrote those sagas, like travel to the center of the earth or something like that. I don't know if I translated that correctly. So there's been people that has been talking about those sort of thing for years and years and years, and even before that, uh, there's been uh, mention mentions or talks about this sort of thing. Leonardo da Vinci thought of like flying machines and so on, and we're at a point where we're trying to make rockets that can land, like you can reuse them. Jules Verne, exactly. Um, we have sort of this 1984 thing going on uh, with technologies that can monitor large parts of society, uh, which is also super wild. We're creating super smart machines that can figure out things that would take years for a normal human to figure out. We do it in seconds. Uh, so it's it's really interesting. We still don't have like flying cars, like proper flying cars. That'll be awesome. All those Back to the Future stuff. Uh, the Fifth Element. That movie, I love that movie. Oh, so that's such a fun movie. Yeah, well, there's something to be said about that, but I would say to that I would say that if we're if we already have like autopilot for planes, like we could have something like that for cars. Like we in reality we don't need to drive. It's something that it gives us freedom, uh, but like you have the I don't know. That's another thing that is controversial. I don't want to get into that much, but um, yeah. Oh, I'm thinking of examples of this working, and now I'm realizing that all the examples I have are from sci-fi movies, and they all go horribly wrong when it comes to self-driving. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. So my thought process is like, oh, we don't really need it, but the other part of me, the tinfoil hat within me, it goes like, I think we need to like get uh, a bug out car type of thing. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Just don't pay attention to me. My random thoughts on this. This is just where my mind is at the moment. Getting all tinfoil hat. Oh my goodness. there's I love there's a scene in Signs, the movie like with an alien invasion. It's really funny. Uh, like the protagonist gets to a house in that movie is Mel Gibson. He gets back to the house after he had to go do something. I don't know what he was doing. I don't remember exactly, but he comes back. The thing was that he left the kids they were showing stuff on the TV, and the kids were watching the TV. And they're like, oh, they're showing this and this and that, and the dad wasn't paying much attention. They're like, don't say watching that. That you're gonna get all panicky and stuff. So he left them with their uncle. When he comes back, like they all have tinfoil hats, and they're watching the TV under the stairs on a really small closet room. Oh, that's funny. And there's this scene where the uncle by Joaquin Phoenix they're showing a scene like with the aliens and stuff, and it's like a birthday party. It's like, vámonos, vámonos, kids, move it, because everybody like he's speaking for the audience because you're trying to watch whatever is it's happening on the screen. Uh, that movie has so many awesome things in it. That like it's really Orwellian and so I don't know. It's a really I found that movie really good. Uh, it's well crafted. And it's a fun movie. I watched that film so many times. So what I'm talking about is like wherever you look, you can you can find some form of tinfoil hat theory about something. And every now and then, well, you can figure out the rest. My dog is all sleepy, and I already passed the hour, so maybe I should clock off, clock out, rather, I guess. This is a really good picture. I like it. Yeah, it's really cool. It's a fun picture. Maybe I should focus more on that, like double down on the fun pictures. Like this one is more serious. Like it's fun for me to work on it, but oh, come on, like things breaking. It's just Morphe, man. He's he's really into like he really thought of that when he got famous for that. Well, he was probably famous before, but that made him immortal in the zeitgeist of humanity. I think maybe to me it's like that dude dropped some knowledge when he said the whole Morphe thing. America. Yeah, probably. Wait, it isn't like all this. Like the bald eagle doesn't have. Uh, I think it's like up to here. I think could be wrong. I know that this one's different. It's also brownish, so and it has more like a cool hairdo type of thing going on. Uh, that's also why I really like how harpy eagles look like they have this this hairdo. But yeah. I used to know the words because yeah, I used to sing your anthem at the beginning of our day when I was studying in Monterrey. Yeah. It's a really nice anthem. Play ball! It was really fun to study there. Let's get it on! That reminded me, this is really old too, but Celebrity Deathmatch. The, the, that show was really out there. It's like, oh my god, what is this? Who thought of this? The reverb back. What if I turn it off? Uh, Let's just turn that on again. Oh my god, this camera. And now my phone is in the frame. Eh, ding. That's nice. I like it. You know, I should make. Now that I'm thinking about it, I should make like a kind of like a Nat Geo type thing book about animals and how, like, which ones are in extinction list, like the red list, which I've mentioned in the past in my videos. There's a really awesome creator that I found on TikTok that's always talking about fun facts or cool things about animals with his own twist. I'm trying to remember his name. Uh, I cannot recall it. He does really cool content. And now he's on YouTube too. Well, he was already like on the millions of followers on TikTok. Uh, so he's okay. He's he's doing well for himself, which is awesome. One hour 19. Well, well, I think for today, this is as far as I'm getting. Hi, Rusty. How's it going? All good. It's probably about to end the stream for today. Thanks for joining. hand doesn't want to. Thank you. Uh, if you like, that'll be awesome. Thank you for considering me for that sort of thing. Uh, yeah, I can tell you that I could use the help, definitely. But just if you just joining to chat a little bit, I appreciate it. That's also fine. Been trying to get monetized, but I need the the views. Well, not the views, the time. You know that you have to get to. Like for instance, in YouTube is 4,000 hours, so I'm trying to get to that. Hopefully, at one point, I will. Been trying for quite some time, but me being an introverted person now, like I just go live and talk to people, but I was like, oh, I don't wanna, I don't wanna show my face. I was like all nervous and stuff. I've been getting better at that. Oh, that's cool. Thanks for joining, Stephanie. Hope to see you next time. Oh, that's awesome. Well, yeah. I try to go live Monday through Thursday, uh, around the same time, 9:30 p.m. Argentina time. It must be like daytime in Australia right now, right? I don't know what time it is right there, but that's awesome. Uh, well, I've been streaming for quite some time, so that counts. Like every hour that somebody watches counts towards that. So that has helped me uh, towards my goal. And I've been also every now and then I'm able to make YouTube videos. I don't have the time always, but I try to do a few videos every now and then. Sometimes it's disheartening because like if nobody knows who you are or your channel, uh, it's not easy at first. So even if you do the best video you can, you might not, yeah, you might not show up for anyone for a long time. Like every now, oh, 3 people saw your video and like, oh, cool. The thing that I spent, I don't know, 20 hours doing, or 40 hours. I don't know, depends. Sometimes it's faster. Sometimes it takes more time. But like some videos, like you have to think of the script or the idea and the way you're gonna film it, and sometimes research. By the time you upload the video, like you already put in some time. So uh, sometimes you post something and it gets like 3 views or something like that. I don't know. So yeah, it's just the way things are. All right, I think I got enough contrast on this. I think 126. That's about right. Maybe you should do like this sort of thing. I mean, year 9 algebra? What? Uh, so ninth grade. Yeah. Oh, okay. So high school, mid high school type thing. But algebra? That's what was confusing for me because ninth grade, like in ninth grade, you learn about a bunch of stuff, not just algebra. Yeah, it's has its things definitely. All right. So still still need some contrast here, but I guess I'll work on it next time. I'm good for today. So if you joined the stream, thank you for watching, and consider subscribing, hitting that bell, and all that good stuff. German teacher. Okay. Alright. So thank you all for watching. I hope to see you next time. What did you mention there? Well, you have to think about those things. But yeah, at 14, just focus on what you have to do, and you can worry about that a little bit after. But the moment you start making money, I was I would start investing. So anyhow, I hope you enjoy the stream. Um, Hope to see you next time. The whole live stream is gonna be on the YouTube channel, so you can watch it if you like. Uh, yeah. Anyhow, thank you all for watching. Until next time. Bye.